I think we can all admit, you can love him or hate him given what's happened, but he was one of the most brilliant traders in the crypto universe.
Hey guys, welcome back to Library of Wealth. Today we have Shark Tank investor and Canadian businessman Kevin O'Leary giving us his reaction to the recent collapse of FTX and why many investors are starting to panic. The crash in Bitcoin has been a significant event in the crypto space as well, but with major players like Ethereum still intact, FTX hasn't phased the dominant crypto assets. O'Leary discusses that a significant amount of inexperience also led to many of FTX's internal problems. He believes that the crypto market as a whole will be affected and is more adamant than ever that regulation needs to be expedited. He believes that the SEC is going to be taking a very close look at many tokens that have the same framework as FTX and lack of governance that is taking place. It's clear now that the warning signs of negligence may have been overlooked. Let's check out this interview with Kevin O'Leary as he gives his position in the crypto market as well as what we can expect in the next few months. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we do here on this channel. Let's get right into the video.
He also built one of the most robust platforms. We used FTX actively. It was a very robust platform that allowed us to get information on a compliant basis. So I really like what he built.
Would you back him?
The answer would be yes. And I'll tell you how I would do it. I would do it in a different context. He would not have operational control of the assets. He would have trading control. And you're going to find, assuming he doesn't get involved in a bad situation somehow personally, that he will be found somewhere else in crypto. I know all the players in the crypto market, and I'm just telling you, there's nobody quite like him. And I got to tell you something on a more personal level, which, you know, obviously people don't want to hear right now, but I've met Sam multiple times. I talked to him last Thursday, actually, when this thing was, you know, boiling over, trying to get the actual amount he was trying to raise, because there was a lot of interest in institutional and sovereign wealth at the time in buying a piece of FTX before all the regulation, before the whole thing collapsed. But his parents, I mean, you've never met nicer people than that. Sam, if 9 out of 10 people I talked to that have met him don't think he has an evil bone in his body. The guy was a really interesting guy. Now, you know, look, he's going to have to suffer the slings and arrows, but I still like the guy. I feel very sorry for him, but I don't have he's a good person. And at the end of the day, he got himself in a bad place. Having gone through and seen this movie before in my investment career, what I've learned to do is to wait for the facts. And so I can guarantee you, every single token, every single dollar, every stable coin involved in this situation, by the time this is over, you will know what happened to it. You will know which wallet it is. We may never find out who owns the wallet, obviously, you know that, but it'll all be disclosed. Now, that allegation is sweeping from accounts, corporate accounts, hedge fund accounts, operation companies accounts, and investing them in speculative venture investments. Yeah, I'd like to know more about that. Let's see if that's true. And if that's the case, or as others have alleged, this is a large margin call that occurred between Alameda and FTX. Let's find out if that's true. Let's find out if $2 billion was stolen. Let's find out if this hacker was an employee of FTX, as has been alleged. There's so much BS out there that is not based on any facts yet. We just got to wait.
O'Leary believes that his strategy of having 20% of his working company's assets in crypto distributed throughout 32 different positions will pay off with massive gains in the next year. Because he believes there's no safe position in the market, many investors are just treading water. In the meantime, O'Leary continues to buy S&P 500 companies that are profitable and have a high return on assets.
I'm disappointed that we lost millions and millions of dollars, but we're a well-diversified operating company. It's a hit, but we move on. And luckily, we make many great investments. The one lesson that I am going to be applying, and I've talked to many other institutions too, there is not a chance in hell I will ever put any crypto assets onto an unregulated dealer broker or broker-dealer exchange. And I will not put any assets in any platform that's litigating the regulator. I'm not doing any of that. And all of that capital is going to move in right now. Right now, it's going to move up to Canada, I think. And I'm not the only guy doing that. I can assure you, there are a lot of people going under the umbrella of the SEC, away from the SEC to the OSC up in Canada. It's the only country where you can feel safe about the account right now. This event has a silver lining. This industry will emerge much better when this is over. It really will. The amount of regulation that's going to be forced into this, there's no question, is a benefit.
Is this the bottom? Is this is it? Have we suffered enough? Have we seen the capitulation event, the bottom event? If you were deciding to allocate capital now, when we've just had the eye of the storm and everything's in a wreckage and people are looking around and trying to find their way, would you say that this feels like a bottom?
Yes, I do think it is the bottom, but here's what has to finish. We need the rest of the pieces, or the rest of the pine cones, to fall off the tree. There's many, many forced liquidations coming in the next 10 days. I would argue the time to reposition, and this is a really interesting conversation I had with our auditors yesterday over the weekend. We are obviously going to be taking this as a write-off, and it's a tax loss. There's no question about that. We're not going to reestablish our positions until 31 days later, because this is the first year where the IRS and other regulators, tax regulators around the world, are treating this asset in the same way they treat stocks. So I would think there'll be a lot of selling between now and maybe mid-December, December 15th. I will be reestablishing positions, but I'll tell you something else. What we're going to need here is to take the simplest act, and that is the transparency around the Stablecoin Act. Get that signed. That has nothing to do with Bitcoin or any other token, but it does signal that the regulator is now looking at payment systems like USDC. That will be very positive for the crypto market, and I anticipate that will happen in the next few months. And that's because the midterms are over. The House is controlled by Republicans. That's what it looks like, and they're more positive on getting this done. I'm transparent. I'm honest.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Sam Bankman-Fried is an unusual 1% person in terms of understanding how these assets work. And if I could put him on my team in a very straight vertical where he doesn't have the ability to move assets around but has the ability to trade them, yeah, I would. All of the institutions, including me, have hired various law firms over the weekend. I need to see the trading agreements. I will see them. I'll see the agreements between FTX and Alameda and other outside entities. We don't know what those agreements are, because most people, you got to remember something. FTX and Sam were Americans, and a lot of people took comfort in that, including the largest financial institutions in the world. The cap table beside me as investors, there's none like it.
With China, Japan, and Ukraine currently having economic struggles, he sees this as a market opportunity to buy at the bottom after a 30 or 40% downdraw on the stock price. With a massive change in the direction of capital going into crypto in the last 6 months, more investors are willing to take highly speculative investments. This week's crash brings a sudden reversal after weeks of relative stability for Bitcoin and Ethereum prices. Both tokens are now down more than 20% over the last week. What do you think about Kevin O'Leary's strategy in the crypto market, as well as where he predicts we will be over the next few months? Comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.